Hello everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, the first episode in the year 2019, as we are gearing towards 500, less than a half a year away.
Half a year.
Now, before we get into the review, we always like to do a little bit of a pre-review show, where we take about 5 to 10 minutes and just talk about stuff going on. And the first thing I want to talk about is something you all are going to notice. This episode combines not just this week's books, but last week's books. Why? Because last week, Mike, how many books did you have?
None.
I had two. So we decided to take those two books and move them into this review instead and do a combined review, because we haven't done a combined review for a very, very long... I'd like to say about a good 5-6 years we haven't done a combined review. I think we didn't do a combined review after episode 100, so It's been about 400 episodes since we've done a combined.
Leading to halfway to 500.
Right. Now, what that does mean is it pushes 500 a week further into the future. We will start a countdown once we get to 490, as we always do when we hit the 90s.
Yeah, with the 10-9-876
yes.
papers.
But it does push 500 an extra week into the future, so if 500 was going to be the last week of June, it'll now be the first week of July. If it was in the middle of June, well, then it doesn't change anything. Same thing if it was in the beginning of July. It only pushes it a week further down, which is fine. And we are gearing towards 500. We're really excited about that. That's something to look forward to in the new year. Now, I did 2 videos on my channel. I did one rewinding 2018, which Michael actually did a similar video, but he rewinds himself and the whole year in general. And you'll talk about that. And then I did another video, which Mike did in the exact same video. I did 2 videos. Mike did one.
Yeah.
We kind of deferred there. Looking into 2019. And 2019 mostly is for the new channel. Now, my first goal, as you all know, is to get to that 100 subscriber mark so that I can get a personal URL so I can actually tell you all it's youtube.com/ I can't do that yet. And hopefully we'll get there. We are getting there at a slower pace. Unfortunately, it is partially my fault. I haven't put up a lot of content in December. It was a very busy month. I do have some things in the works as we speak, so you will be seeing some new content on the channel. There's new stuff already popping up. There'll be newer stuff popping up as we move forward. Twitch, same thing. New stuff will be popping up very soon. Resident Evil 2 is coming out this month. I'm very excited about that. We might hold off on Kingdom Hearts, even buying it, because we haven't played any of the other Kingdom Hearts yet. So we might hold off. I don't know yet. We have it pre-ordered. We can always cancel. For right now, I'll keep it as pre-ordered, but we might cancel. It all depends on funds. And other things, of course, because we won't be playing it when we get it, so what's the point of getting it early when we could wait for maybe a sale? Other than that, I've gotten back into Magic the Gathering. I haven't been into Magic since high school. Other than that, when we did What the Card, I think we did only about a handful of Magic card openings. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh!, a lot of Pokemon. But recently I've gotten interested in Magic again. I got a couple of things. I'll be getting the new set that comes out at the end of the month. I'll be doing an unboxing, or an opening, I should say, of the new set. It comes out, I think, January 26th. It'll be here probably January 20... No, it comes out January 25th. Should be here 26th, 27th. All depends. So look forward to that. Frontline Live is back. Zone 4 will be back tomorrow, which is Friday. So, lots to look forward to. Lots and lots of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, I should say.
And what about you?
Well, as for me, for my YouTube channel of Duderock18, I did post up the New Year video. And every year it's where I recap what happened. Well, for this year, I did recap what happened in 2018. Looking into what's going to be happening in 2019 and what I'm going to be doing. Which means I got a new camera. And it has amazing quality, so
I got one as well, yeah.
So I'll probably be doing hopefully longer vlogs with a better battery and stuff like that. And my birthday is actually coming up on January 14th, a big year where I turned the big 3-0. So that's like a big event also. And I'm probably going to do a video combination. Now, you know I'm Brooklyn Boys 13, and I talked about this in a video I uploaded of Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I uploaded. I am gonna have a party this year, hopefully with a lot of people. And you know how we always do, where I read birthday cards and do the party poppers. Like, I think that we should still keep that for Broken Boys 13 in separate videos. But a video that I'm planning, I want to put that in as well to combine the whole thing. I don't want to spoil what I want to do yet, because it's like basically a secret project, but it's not really secret because it's about my birthday and stuff like that, you know. But I am gonna still put some for Broken Boys, because we can ruin the traditional Broken Boys when we have parties, and
Right.
implement it to my channel, but with other videos before that that won't be on Broken Boys. So it's kind of like a director's cut, but only my point of perspective. If that makes any sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so I will be doing that. But 30 years old, I don't even feel like I'm 30. To
I
be
didn't either.
honest,
I still don't feel
really,
like I'm in my 30s.
But you know, life goes on, and hopefully I'll have lots of videos too for this year. And like I say, it's either whether people are here or whether I do it solo. I mean, you know, it happens.
Agreed.
That's it.
All right, and with that, we're at 6 minutes, so we're right in
Yeah.
a nice sweet spot. So let's get into this episode, I should say, because we have 2 weeks in this one. We have the week of December 20.
I can't remember.
The week
30th?
of the, no,
No, not that.
I'll get it. The week of the 26th.
December
Which
26th.
is two of the books.
Which was the last week of the year 2018.
Right, and December. And
right.
now the rest of the books, which this is the main part of the show,
Yes,
came out.
And there are 13 altogether for this one.
Together.
Which came out on January 2nd, 2019. The first week of January, along with the first week of the new year of 2019. And we're going to start always digital. And
we always go digital, period.
We're going to start digital with
you mean indie. You're going to start with the independents.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the digital stuff. It's digital.
It's all
WWE. Issue number 24. This issue was a really good issue. And just to sum it up, it really just talks about AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And if we all watch WrestleMania, where he, you know, was trying to be respectful to him, he gets a kick between the legs. And then AJ Styles gets a little bit raged about that. And then it built up a whole rivalry from pay-per-view to pay-per-view to pay-per-view. But then in the end, I want you to see what the second story is. But then in the end, Shinsuke Nakamura said that the reason why he did that was to build up good rating, as well as to build up rivalry, which actually AJ Styles respected that. And all in all, the artwork was just really amazing. I really like the artwork. That's
any way to
actually,
make him go heel and then go right back to a face.
right. Or when Shinsuke goes that, come on. I just like when he does that. But yeah. But friendships were kind of like, yeah. The second story was about Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, about how they're frenemies, sort of, like on stage they're enemies, but outside they're friends with each other. And it goes back to NXT actually, to now. And that was it for the book. So like I say, I'm not really crazy about the second stories, but you know, it's just something to read that's a short.
Crowded issue number 6. This story, and I mentioned this on Frontline Live. I'm sorry this review is a day late, by the way. It just hit me. We're recording this a day late. The story started off really good. I really enjoyed it. Things got a little bit funny towards, I'd like to say, between 6 and 1. Now the story's getting a bit goofy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
I
there's a
remember
bit
you
of a
talked
goof.
about.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a bit goofy for me.
I know what you
not
mean.
not in a bad way, but I mean, it followed one of the people who has the bounty on the main character and how stupid he is, and of course she gets protected by
nice
the police
gun.
officer. And there's just so much goof going on, and maybe it's a test to the artwork a little bit too, but it just seems like it's just getting goofy. And I think I'm moving this to my casual read. Do I hate it to the point where I'm dropping it? No. Do I hate it at all? No. It's just goofy. It's just goofy, and it's something that, like, I'd rather not have to read it for a review. I'd rather have it in a pile. Believe it or not, I have 2 piles every week. I make a pile of books that I have to read so that we'll have the review, and then I have a pile of books that I like to read just in my spare time. And you'd be surprised. Actually, I read through the pile of books that I don't have to read for the review fairly quickly right after the review anyway, because in my free time in between reviews, I have time to read. So, this is just going to fall on that pile for now. again, it's just a little too goofy for me as far as reviewing and having to read it so fast. Maybe reading it at a slower pace, it'll be better. And once I really start to catch up again, I'll be able, if I really do enjoy it, I could talk about it on Frontline. So if I ever don't talk about a book here, I might talk about it on Frontline instead. Just saying, keep an eye on Frontline Live when we do our top 5. You never know if I'll throw a book out there that I don't talk about here.
All right. The Walking Dead, issue number 187. And this one talks about basically about the Commonwealth. Like, it just goes on where
this book seems so political and so much talking and
that, but yeah, in the beginning, just Rick with all this dialogue of what he wants to do to improve the Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, Justice League came out this week. I didn't bother, ladies and gentlemen. I'm until it's.
Well, we're not on the big.
You said
two
so much
yet.
dialogue. No.
Oh, you mean related to that?
Yeah, related to that. I'm just done with Justice League until we get the heck away from whatever they're doing on there.
Yeah, and then it talks about I think her name is Princess's side story, how she grew up, and the way her story was really emotional, and she just rather be alone because of what happened. Meanwhile, you have Sophia in a happy life where Carl's happy for her, but Lydia gets a little jealous because she thinks that he still has feelings for Sophia, or Sophie, however you say it. And then we get a little bit of Mercer action as well, with lots of other stuff that's happening. And then what Mercer actually wants to do with the place, like he wants to try to change things and overthrow Governor Milton and her friends and thought like that. And, well, somebody heard about it and said, well, Governor Milton is going to be so disappointed in you after hearing that. And this guy, he reminds me of the governor so much. I just want to, seriously, you see those lockers? I want to get his head and just, because I hate him. I don't like him, but I know that's what comics are for do, but don't give me ideas where I want to do stuff to them. There's a locker. Okay, your turn.
Unnatural, issue number 6. We get more background on why the main character is being possessed by the albino wolf, and that he is possessing her. And she reminds him, I forgot her name. I don't know why I forgot her name. No, it's not that. In the beginning, it opens up with the pig dude's father and how twisted and dark he is, and that they have to find this girl because she got away, but at the same time she's needed for the prophecy because they want to take the albino's powers and use it for their own dastardly deeds. But this guy is eviler than his son, the father. I hate him already, and I can't wait to see him die at some point. But we get background on Bess, who she was, what happened with the albino, his backstory as well. We get more lucid dreams that I forget what her name's having. She gets a little bit closer with Cal. See, I remember the wolf's name because it's Khallaal, so it kind of works. I kind of can remember that.
Was the character's name Bess you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about who.
No, I meant the one you couldn't find.
No.
Oh.
Who the pig, the albino, the girl. I can't remember her name. I don't know why her name left me.
Well, the artwork is pretty alright.
It's really good. But that's what brought me into the book was the artwork. In the end, they get found out, and now they have to run. Will they make it out? We'll find out in the next issue. I don't believe I forgot her name.
Leslie,
thank you. Yeah. Leslie. That's it.
Oh, that is it. Oh, I thought you
Mike's
were...
reading the book.
No. I just saw wolves and, because, we're big fans of wolves. So I thought, okay.
That was funny. Mike was reading the book.
I thought you were going to keep talking. I didn't know because you were like going, I'm like, all right, well.
It's very good. Now we're going into the big 2, and I think we're starting off with the 2 books. Am I correct? Yeah, both of my books. Now, these came out 2 weeks ago. Remember, the week of the 26th.
26, you said. You said 6.
26. Yes, Tuesday was the 25th.
Ah.
Yes, 26. So, Fantastic Four, issue number 5. Just a wonderful bachelor party that Johnny throws for Ben. We get some recaps, some older stories. We get a bunch of different artists in here. It was a blast. Enjoyable read. I was on some of the artwork, but some of the artwork was also very good. So, I enjoyed it. Nice little setup for Ben and Alicia's wedding. And then, of course, the ending where they get married and then crap goes down. And I love how Reed kind of drops a time, like a 5-minute freeze on everything except what's in the bubble. So Ben gets married, and then they run off to do, to deal with the issue, and Doctor Doom's involved, of course. So I like that. I like that. That was kind of Reed's little present. He's like, dude, finish getting married, and then we'll go. Superior Spider-Man issue number 1.
Now,
I like how
can I just say one thing? Is this relating to Doc Ock being Spider-Man again?
Yes.
What? Like,
didn't you remember Spider-Geddon, where basically Pete gave him his blessing as long as he did the right?
If I remember, yeah.
So Doc Ock's fighting Stiltman, beats Stiltman, of course. It shows Doc Ock, or I shouldn't say Doc Ock anymore because he isn't. He is the Superior Spider now. Shows Otto, just fighting Stiltman as Superior Spider-Man, comes back, gets dressed, gives a nice speech as a teacher, because now he's working as a teacher at Horizon Academy. Yes, Horizon Labs found their way back through Horizon Academy. And
who wrote this? Like Dan Slott or somebody?
No, go back to the top and you'll see.
No, I'm going, yeah, but go on.
But anyway, then something happens. He goes back as Superior, then he goes back again. But Anne-Marie's questioning.
Oh, Christos Gage.
Yeah, which I'm surprised because Gage didn't really catch me with a few books. But anyway, goes back and Anne-Marie's questioning him as a professor. She's like, that can't be. And then he says the die is cast. Of course he's going to say this in every issue. And she's like, it's you, isn't it, Doc Ock? And he's like, yes. And he's trying to convince her that, he was given a clean slate. He's not doing what he's doing anymore. He wants to make a good impact in the world. She doesn't believe him. I believe that she's going to be a big problem in this series for at least the first half of it. Because she doesn't believe him. And she's like, I'm going to be keeping my eye on you. Believe me, we're not done. So I'm worried that Anne-Marie, because you always got to wonder when a villain is going to go back to his ways. Eventually, all things end up back somehow, some way. You can't take Doc Ock completely out unless they leave him and the original Doc Ock comes back as well. That would be an interesting combo. The real Doc Ock, the not clone Doc Ock back, and then Dr. Octopus, then Otto as Superior Spider-Man also. There's a lot of possibilities. Right now he's not a villain, but you always got to worry when that one person doesn't trust all the way to the point where they push a villain who is a former villain back into villainy. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I like how what was not Drax? Oh my God, the Destroyer. His name left my mind completely, but he shows up and he's on the cover of the next issue anyway. And now it's up to Superior Spider-Man to stop him, to be continued. And of course, Anne-Marie says go, and that's what she says. We're not done here. I'm looking forward to the next issue. Pretty good first issue. It really surprised me.
All right, Marvel Knights issue number 5, and what I see from this issue now, you told me from this issue was more focused on the Punisher, and now what I jumped into this...
Well, it showed the Punisher.
It does, but it's really... I feel like it's doing a little bit of a copy of number 1. It's just talking more about the Black Panther,
and then he comes back in the end as Black Panther?
Well, wait, hold on a second. It's just like, I just gotta refresh my memory a little bit. I mean, it does show also Kingpin who talks with Doctor Doom, and then we see Black Panther who actually... has an encounter with the Punisher with that. And then we see Doctor Doom's death from the Kingpin, unless it was a fake Doctor Doom.
Unless it was a Doombot or something, yeah.
Yeah, because we don't know about that. And then he's just fighting off against Daredevil, the Punisher, and the Hulk. And then the whole thing just happens where he's just, cornered, and then they're just saying enough. And he's thinking that they are the ones who erase the world of what he's trying to do. So it's to be continued. So maybe it will go into a story where maybe either they go after Kingpin or probably something else. I don't know. We'll have to see when we get to it.
All right, we're in DC Vertigo now, before we get into DC. Books of Magic, issue number 3. Tim is suffering from nightmares from obviously what happened at the end of the last issue. And I love how he's counting sheep. He's using magic, and he has like 1,000 sheep in his room, and then he just whisks them all away. But he's having nightmares, and he goes to the teacher. They also found the other teacher that was murdered by his magical teacher, by the way, who's pretending to be his teacher to train him. We still don't know if she's for good or evil, and by the end of the issue, it'll leave you questioning that again. But did you lose the books, or are they fine?
No, yeah, I was going to look at the
anyway, she tells him he needs to get sleep, what he needs to do to protect from those nightmares, because he's having nightmares he remembers, and then ones he doesn't, and the ones he doesn't remember are the ones that are scaring him the most. She says, create using your magic, create a guardian or envision a guardian, and that will protect you at night. And he does, and that's what the cover was. It's an owl, which is kind of funny. Again, another similarity between this book and Harry Potter. It's an owl that he sees as a protector. And we also get the funeral for the teacher. We get a lot of talking between Tim and his teacher. I believe her name is Victoria. It starts with a V. But anyway, in the end, though, we have the cult that still wants him. And now she's talking with this skull, and everything looks very sinister on her end by the end of the book. Like, we need to have a talk. She's talking to the skull. So I'm wondering if she's his teacher for good, or for she's the one teaching evil, and the cult is trying to prevent him from becoming the villain. They really want him to be the good. I don't know. There's so many, like, where is everybody's position here? It's kind of questioning. And poor Tim only wants us to find his mom. That's all he wants magic for. He wants to locate his mom. And she says sometimes the best of intentions, his teacher, leads to the worst outcome. So you got to be careful how you use your magic. And it's true.
It is.
It's true with anything. I'm loving this book. My number one favorite book out of DC Vertigo right now. Followed by The Dreaming. But still, The Dreaming, I just feel like I'm waiting for the Sandman to show up. And he's not going to show up for a very long time, if anything. So I feel like it's one of those empty hopes. But I'm loving books of magic.
All right. Injustice versus Massive Universe, issue number 6, the grand finale issue to this story. And this actually was really good.
He-Man Shazam.
Yeah, He-Man Shazam. Actually, it gets to that, but I'll tell you why, actually. Because, well, I know you read the book, but I'm telling them why. Basically, Superman gets He-Man's sword to redo his mistakes before he killed Joker and before anything else happened. So he just basically uses his sword, as my tablet is just not working, to actually just erase all that from happening. While you have Supergirl and the others who are fighting off against Darkseid's team. And it's just like, the whole thing was just going good. And then all of a sudden when Superman was going to attack He-Man, he actually says that he has one word, and Shazam right there. And I thought that was really epic. Then just using the sword, like all he had to say was that one word. And then everything just was where He-Man defeated Superman. And then he becomes He-Man once again as the original attire when he repossesses his sword. And yeah, everyone goes back to their own universe because Castle Grayskull has risen again and not taken away from Darkseid's magic, and that's it. I do have a feeling, though, that it may, from what you said, it does look like that it could go into a volume 2 if they should cross over again after the Injustice story ends for the other one, probably. But it was really good, though. For a 6-issue series, I might get a trade paperback of it when that actually comes out in the stores, because it was really good. I mean, if you guys are He-Man fans or Injustice fans, you'll definitely like the book.
The Terrifics issue number 11. The Terrifics finished their first adventure and they've all gone their separate ways. Plastic Man's trying to make amends with his wife and child. Things go really bad. Phantom Girl is at a ball, and that goes really bad because they're looking for a suitor to marry her, because apparently, everyone's alive and, everything's supposed to be set right. So now they're looking for a husband for her, and she's not too happy about that. Rex is not dealing with being normal very well. He actually admits to wanting to be metamorpho again, that he really, he felt alive. Now it's kind of like he's normal and he has to find a job and this and that. And his girlfriend kind of is 50-50 on, she's finally like, we have our time together now. And he's like, yeah, but I miss being different. He misses it. And then Mr. Terrific is doing what he always does, surfing around the multiverse, and he finds his wife. Or a universe where his wife is Mrs. T, and she's got the mantle, but then he gets attacked by the Dreadfuls. To be continued. Obviously, the team is going to find a way to get back together, but it's going to be an interesting way to see how he grabs all of them, because they're all in different places right now. Action Comics 106.
Or 1006.
Yeah, sorry. 1006. I'm okay with Bendis' Superman run. His action run just falls on the boring category for me. I feel like it's the same stuff hashed a million times. And I have to agree with Jay. There are points in the book where I feel like Bendis gets Superman perfectly. Like his speech to the Red Cloud when she attacks the firefighter woman, or the fire chief. I like that. I like the moment where he's saying, you know, out of everyone in this universe, I'm the one. I know I'm the nicest, and I want to give you a chance because others won't. I'm giving you that chance. That's the other scene. Then there's the scene in the beginning of the book where he, you know, he's hearing all these rumors about everything, and he just wants a Superman out. Runs down an alley, takes his glasses off, opens his shirt, and a kid is right there. Now, if Bendis was trying to play off of that moment in Superman 3 at the very beginning where he goes into the photograph booth,
Yep.
and in the photograph booth it shows like him changing, he ripped all of it though and gave the kid just the one picture. The kid didn't see him as Clark Kent. There's a big problem with that one kid seeing him as Clark Kent. Whether he reads the news or not, I mean, there's arguments where, oh, who knows about the news? Who really cares about popular reporters? Clark Kent is a figurehead not just as a reporter, but as a human being. He is a figurehead. If that kid is... The only way that kid doesn't know is if he fell off the face of the earth and literally just got dropped back onto it now. And that was a huge plot hole. Obviously, it'll never be touched on unless a lot of fans start to bitch about it. Then, of course, I'm sure Bendis will find a way to touch on it. But that felt off. This book feels boring. We find out that this other woman at the end of the book, who is apparently the boss over Red Cloud, is running this underground inner gang, but not inner gang organization. She's been running it since Superman has been in Metropolis, under Superman's nose. Obviously, because we as readers are seeing this, Superman's finally going to find out about it at some point and stop it. But she bought the Daily Planet, and now she's giving Red Cloud Lois Lane's office because Lois is gone. And this is completely and utterly boring compared to at least the little bit of action we're getting in Superman. Honestly, I feel like, I hope that Bendis only has 12 issues, because all of his arcs are claimed to only be 12-issue arcs. The only question is, you know, we are already at 106, I said, right?
1006.
1006. So that means there's 6 issues left. That means we are officially right in the middle of his 12-issue arc for action. In 6 months, when that 1012th issue drops, will Bendis be leaving one or both Superman books? I don't know. And I know there are 2 books actually coming out, doubles of both Superman and Action coming out in either this month or February, maybe January. My question remains, will he be leaving the books at issue 12? My hope is a yes, because honestly, I'm not really... I feel like from Rebirth, Superman has gone down, and it's no fault of Bendis per se. He's writing 10 or 9 books. To focus 9 books a month is hard, and that's why I feel like in this case, Superman has kind of gone down. You need more than one person writing a character, especially when he has 2 books. Batman has 2 writers. Titans and Teen Titans both have separate teams, but Batman's the only one that's doubling up in my mind at this moment that I'm reading, so I'm going to mention that. Batman's doubling up, and he has 2 books out right now, and both books have different teams on them. I feel like you needed that with Superman 2. Giving Bendis the full reins, throwing Supergirl into space. I've said this 1,000 times, and this is the last time because we're in 2019, and I'm not going to repeat myself a million times, but doing all that to Superman really hurt his neck of the woods as far as DC goes. And we don't even know, because usually Bendis always likes to leave a story or a character with some type of lasting ramifications. He likes to leave a series with a bang. He did it with X-Men, he did it with Iron Man, he did it with Spider-Man. I'm scared what he's going to do with Superman. I really am. But there are hints that he might be moving into other books. Hopefully not adding more books, but moving on to other books in the coming year, as he dropped a teaser on Instagram. I'm just very nervous. I'm very nervous what he has planned for Superman. And as far as the book, though, action just is lackluster for me. Superman is doing pretty good, though. I am enjoying Superman. I will say that a little bit more now that we moved away from Roll Lozar a little bit. We'll see where the John story goes now. But I don't know. It's very hard. I'm trying really hard to like what Bendis is doing. And there are times where I do like it. But then there are times like this action book where I just not feeling it. I'm not. And then we got Detective Comics issue 995. 995. 5 away from 1,000. What's her name dies. Leslie dies. I think her name is Leslie also, ironically, in this book, who's a known character in the Batman side of the world. Let me see.
Leslie,
I was right. Leslie dies. Detective that was there when Bruce's parents died, grew up, was always an ally to Batman. She dies. We don't know who's behind all this. And then Alfred gets stabbed by Zorro. we don't know who the person is that stabbed Alfred. So Alfred is now mortally wounded, and Damien's coming in to help Alfred. But Batman's basically had it now. Okay, first the parents, then Leslie, then Alfred almost dies. He takes everyone from Arkham, throws them in a room, and says, "We're gonna have a little Q&A here, and think of this as a fun house. Nothing bad will happen as long as as long as you answer my questions. But remember, I'm not locked in here with all of you. Everything goes black. You're locked in here with me." Excellent. That was an excellent way to leave the book off. I really, truly enjoyed it. And then my favorite book this week had to go to Heroes in Crisis issue number 4. Blue and Gold, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle back together. And Blue Beetle is, they're questioning. Obviously we're getting Booster Gold's side of the story where he explains it wasn't him. He saw Harley do the whole thing. Harley knocked him out and then he just flew away because he was scared. And then you got Harley fighting, Batgirl finds Harley. And, it opens up, of course, with Teen Titans, Aqualad, Artemis drinking himself into a corner. And of course, Donna's the one that brings him, out of it. Takes him out of the bar, and there's a nice picture of the old Teen Titans in the background. But then we go back to Batgirl. Now, the 3 people that talk at Sanctuary in this issue are Batgirl, very strong because it's about her being shot. Donna, at the very beginning of the book, talking about a lot of stuff with her. And then I love Black Canary. She's like, screw this. Gets up, and the rest of the page, like the whole page, is just the chair empty. So that was really cool. But I love how Green Arrow and Black Canary are like, figure out which of the 2 did it, or else both of them aren't going to matter very soon because we lost Roy. He wants to know who killed Red Arrow.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't them.
I don't think it was them either. I think it was something else, and we're going to find out what that red herring is as we move forward. But Batgirl finds Harley. Harley is still kind of losing it, but she kind of brings her back. She pulls her back in and says, I'm not Batman. I believe, I know you didn't do it. Let's figure out what's going on here. All the while, Lois Lane is getting everything from Sanctuary, somehow was recorded and sent to her, and she has to report it. But better Lois than anybody else because she can at least keep it controlled. So you got that going on. Blue Beetle decides, hey, we're best friends. Bros before heroes. Breaks Booster Gold out of the Justice League headquarters. And they're going to go on the mystery and find out who is behind the killing or the deaths at Sanctuary. I just hope we don't end up with that again. I hope we don't end up with somebody dying by the end of the series and it's Blue Beetle. I hope not. Because the last mystery that involved deaths and stuff like that, Blue Beetle ended up being killed at the end. But I'm hoping not. I'm truly hoping not. I'm really enjoying this book, and I'm looking forward to what's to come. And then, of course, the news breaks. Lois breaks her article at the end of the issue. And I love the ending with the Trinity talking, and Wonder Woman gets pissed off. She throws a penny, and Batman's like, do I have to hide the dinosaur? Because I don't want Superman to break the dinosaur. And then he gets pissed off because Clark breaks the news about Lois's article, and he's like, I'm going to break the dinosaur. So much great stuff going on in Heroes in Crisis. One of my favorite events that ended 2018 and that is starting 2019. I'm looking forward to seeing where this series goes and ends. And with that, that's it for this review. So as always, everybody, it's your turn now in the comments below. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We'd love to hear from all of you. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Happy New Year and you're enjoying the beginning of 2019. We're officially 10 days into 2019 as we're recording this episode. But anyway, until then, as always, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see all of you really soon in the next review.
Bye, everybody.